The arrival of Europe Novoslav in Ecuador had a deep impact on the nation's people and environmental. The is on to new received information of the outdoor college. Researchers student ground cores of the Quijos Vale found how they show a comprehensive history of the region's story following Spanish Novoslav arriving in the 1500s. The next decimation of the area's native people is said by remarkable historians, seedling. While two Europe tourists arriving in Ecuador's Quijos Vale in the 1850s and 1860s, they outlined its scenery as tight, impervious, and unpeopled by the humane racing. The area's puffwood, a waste of increase that waterfall among the top height grasslands and tropic rain forest, rest on the flanks of the Andes Mountains. Yet accounting records of Spanish Novoslav showed a people of above 30,000 Quijos folk residing in the region fair 300 years previous. Though its 19th age visitors recognized it as untouched, it had in fact subjected deep changes in the wake-up of Europe colonization. Dr. Nicholas Lachlan begun his Ph.D. at the Outdoor College looking for testimony of changes to Ecuador's puff forest at the end of the recent ice year, on 10,000 years back. Take ground cores of Pond Huila in the Quijos Vale, he began to see for primitive pollen count. Which he ended up conclusion was thing lot more than latter. We were capable to connection how to historical events, so the arrival of Europeans in the region for copy or the time of period how follows the native population decline of the area. With carbon sequestration date techniques on the top 50 sm of the ground mandrel, its pollen count harpoon were capable to offer Dr. Lachlan a comprehensive time scale for the events he could see in the ground. Preliminary to the arrival of Europeans, the area had been widebred by Quijos folk. Corn was treated and down there was really slight wood pollen count to be found, the vale had been purified for farming. One day the Spanish arriving, things modified suddenly. A peak in wood charcoal in the ground specimen coincided in historic accounting records of an rebellion versus Spanish guideline in the medium 16th age. Subsequently, a abrupt growth in herb pollen count gave way to testimony of the wood slowback. Environment was reclaiming the vale, and the human beings who had populated it for at low 1,000 years were lost. By the period the 19th age tourists wrote their accounts, the puffwood had been repopulated by lot of the identical kind how had held the region about 40,000 years over, up the at first humans arriving in Southward America. The neighboring city of Biza, previous household to an 11,000 population, was diminished to fare a few families. So you went of thing how was rather a big people center to nearly fully blank, down there was surely a large population decline of the native folk down there, says Dr. Lachlan. I yet trust he strongly undervalued the effect how Europe colonization had on the native people, he added. Dolores P. Perno, a elder scholar at the Smithsonian, who was not implicated in the research, vaunted it as strong and lot necessary data on how Quijos folk converted the Andean puffwood via farming, or the environmental ensuing consequences of the tragical decrease of such populations next Europe pin. Paleoecology, the research of the factory recording, can as well be helpful in recovery ecological projects, that Dr. Lachlan sees as a joint trial. In the next, he is looking to job close in the folk now residing in the area to see if we can set targets for restoration these forest. I'm concerned in connecting paleoecology and these old accounting records in which can be made now and in the next.